One Night in Miami is 2020 American drama film directed by Regina King with her feature film directorial debut with screenplay by Kim Powers that is based on a 2013 stage play of the same time. On the night of February 25th, 1964, in Miami, Cassius Clay joins Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X as they discuss the responsibility of being successful black men during the civil rights movement in the hotel room with nothing to serve but liquor and ice cream. I need to give Regina King praise because this is a film that is all focused on a hotel room. Nowhere else. Like there's no scene to scene where they're going to a different area. There's a couple of scenes like that, but it's not focused to the point where like it's like a 10-minute scene or a 20-minute scene. No, like this whole film is focused in a hotel room, so the dialogue, the character development, and the acting is pushed to its limits. It is well warranted because when this happens, we don't just get bought in by the acting, but we begin to see how they like we see their own vision of how each of the character is dealing with these tough times in the 1960s with white supremacy and the civil rights movement. And I'm gonna have to just say this right now: every single character on this film deserves an Oscar. Every single character, especially Aldous Hodge, the person who played as Jim Brown, and Kingsley Ben Adair, the person who played as Malcolm X. Jesus Christ. Both of those characters, they definitely deserves an Oscar because with Malcolm X, when he is in the room, he puts them in his room for a celebration of Cassius Clay as he wins a fight, and he promotes him to become Muslim. And with Cassius Clay, that is played by Ali Gior, I like this character. He felt like he was Ali. When the movie starts, he begins to fight. He shows his fighting and stuff, and he's cocky. He's brutal, and he's young at the same time. So he has that young mentality of just being young and just having that mindset of I have a good body and no one can beat me. But at the same time, it actually hits him in the face. No pun intended. But if you watch the film, you know what I mean by that. as I was saying. So, like, it's all a celebration. So, when Malcolm X, he's the main person of the celebration. So, he tells them to go to the hotel. And as Cassius Clay, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown, when they approach the hotel, no one's there but him and his bodyguards. And that's when Jim Brown, he tells him, like, where's all the ladies that I wanted to get some pussy, man. And Malcolm X tells him, like, well, that can come anytime. We just want to discuss. He wants to see how everybody's vision was with these tough times. What route is they taking? How good is this route? And what is it going to benefit? What is it going to benefit from the African American community? And with Malcolm X, he's a leader man. He not just wanted to see like his vision, their vision of how they was dealing with these tough times, but he also wanted to put a little bit of manipulation as well, because by him being a leader man, he has the potential to give people like certain beliefs. It's not wrong, but just certain visions of just how the society is and pulling them into the side of being awakened. That's why he wanted Cassius Clay to become Muslim, because even though Malcolm X, he's a leader man and stuff, he was on the verge of retiring because he has a wife and child, and he feels as if his life is in danger. There are times he even talks about it to Sam Cooke and Jim Brown, that I feel like there's somebody watching me. That's why he has a bodyguard as he's looking out the windows, and he feels as if there's somebody trying to plan a hit on him. As Malcolm X was trying to explain these type of scenarios of the route that he's taking and trying to tell people the routes that they should take with Cassius Clay, he also tries to do the same thing with Sam Cooke by telling him that your music is great, but at the same time, you can use that music to motivate the African Americans. You can use that music as a weapon, and that's where the debate starts because Sam Cooke actually tells Malcolm X like, "Look, you hear my music, but you're not feeling my music. I have my own ways of how I live my life as an African American." So we don't just see the visions of just one character in this film in this hotel, but we not only see everybody else's, but we feel the expression. There are times when there are times where there's tear dropping scenes. There are times where you'll be on the edge of your seat because they argue, and they argue, and at the same time it comes to an understanding because you don't know which route to take. You don't know whose side to be on. Honestly, should you be on Malcolm X side? Should you be on Sam Cooke's side? Because Sam Cooke and Malcolm X, they both have their own visions of, again, how they deal with these type of things. Same thing with Jim Brown. Jim Brown, I feel like if I was around those times, I'll be like Jim Brown. Um, Doing mixture like creativity with his career, and at the same time being not just criticized but being exposed with your color towards white supremacy. They treated him well, but at the same time they still saw him as African American Negro. There was even a time where he tried to help one person, actually kind of a friend of his, a white Caucasian male, to help him move furniture in his house because he was up in age. And he was like, he told Jim Brown, dude, you know better than that. We don't allow niggas in our house. I feel like this movie was well warranted with the expression towards these times in the 1960s. And not only that, but the acting. The acting was well crafted, well developed, and well dialogued. There was not one time I saw this movie and I looked at the scene, because I watched this movie twice, where I thought that there was a scene that was unnecessary. Each scene in this film was very well directed and very well put together. I thought this film was, nothing was wrong with this film at all. I had no problem with it, except of the length. I felt like the movie should have been longer so we can have more of an expression towards these characters. But other than that, I love this film, and I think that if you're into these type of genres, you should definitely check it out. It's very worth to watch. I'm gonna have to give One Night in Miami an A. Now since I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking which genre of a movie gravitates me a lot. Is it the story development? Is it the character development? Is it the dialogue? Is it the cinematography? I think it's the character development, because I feel like if I don't care about the characters, because the characters is like the engine of a movie. Every movie can have a good story, but if the characters is not well warranted, if the characters is not doesn't pull us in, we're not going to care about the story that much, because you have good stories, but then you have bad characters that don't really play their part that much. And that kind of leads me towards not caring about the film, because what's the point of me watching it if I'm not caring about the people who is gravitating towards the plot of the film? It's like watching a horror film and there's nobody in there but just filler characters that's just going to drive the plot just so the serial killer can just do his skills. You're going to care more about the serial killer than you care about the characters, because there's no, like, the characters doesn't have no name, no premise, other than the fact that they're going to get killed in the future. The reason I'm saying that is because One Night in Miami did a great job with the character development and the dialogue and the acting. And the reason why I didn't give it the highest rating is because I'm not trying to sound greedy, but I wanted more of it. I wanted more of it. Or maybe I was so satisfied with the film that the movie just drifted away from me so quickly. I love this film a lot. Maybe I might do a Redux version of the movie so I could see it in a more comforting way, so I could give it a more better score. Well, that's it. That's all I have for today. Please stay tuned for more of my upcoming reviews and videos coming your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and you guys have a damn good day.